Hey guys, welcome back. So, some shit is going down. So, I'm pretty sure that the harassment is done to have the target start to say out loud what they're thinking. So, I have completely stopped to speak out my thoughts. You know, as the harassment goes on, you really don't realize that you literally start thinking out loud. And then I was making some observations, and I didn't really notice that it was I, the only one that I was looking at people, and I was pretty much the only one that was thinking out loud, you know? So it's like, okay, well, I guess that does make me appear like a crazy person. So I think that the harassment is intended for that purpose, so that people will start thinking out loud, therefore making space in your head for the voices that they're trying to put. So as my gang stalking went on, I realized that my inner voice wasn't there. I wasn't using it. I literally wasn't using it. I honestly had forgotten that I had one. Like I was voicing my thoughts. So then now I began speaking to myself in my head, and that stops the voices from taking life. I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds weird, but that's literally how it was. The moment I began using my inner voice, the moment that I began talking to myself in my head, was the moment where the voices stopped. And so, if you're getting gang stalked, do not think out loud. Don't. Because if you're not using your inner voice, you're kind of open yourself up for something else to take it over. Additionally, one thing that I did notice was that literally whenever I say something at work or whenever I express an emotion, my coworkers go like, oh damn, or you know, so I think that those have a very sinister effect of actually affecting that's how they create the voices in your head. I am certain, because the moment that there are moments where you're just like hanging out, and then all of a sudden everyone starts talking at the same time, like everyone. And then and I paid attention to someone, and then I literally heard someone like behind me, like talking to me. I wasn't sure exactly what they were saying. Oh no, wait, they were saying, ya vas a empezar, like, oh, you're gonna start already. And I was picking up my Nintendo Switch, and as I was picking it up, he was like, oh, now you're gonna start doing that. And then he just began like wording out. So I think those are the moments where they start implanting the voices in your head, because the things that the voices say are very, some of them are very how do you say, specific, like way too specific. And I think also that the reason that I began feeling the sensations is that when I express the emotions, like if I'm in my car and someone is swaying my car, and I'm like, oh fuck you or whatever, or complaining about it, I think that's when you're expressing the emotion, I think that your body records it. It kind of opens something up, so that whenever you feel the emotion again, your body kind of starts recreating it. I'm 90% sure that that's the method, because it makes sense. Now, I'm still gonna stop saying things. I'm gonna stop complaining about it. Or I'm gonna stop thinking out loud to see if the harassment increases. But I have stopped saying or thinking out loud, and the harassment has literally increased. Also, like I just got out of the shower at the gym, and I got out of the shower and I literally saw like 5 guys listening, trying to listen to me while I was in the shower. Like literally, they were just in there listening, and then as soon as I walked out, they like squirreled away. So they are waiting for me to say something. I know that they are, and yeah, so there is a mechanistic methodology that they use to put voices in your head. That's there is. When I was, so they say particular phrases, and then what I notice is that those phrases that they say repeat in my head when I'm like hanging out, you know, where I'm doing whatever, they just repeat in my head, and I have to block them out by thinking to myself. It's super interesting, but I mean, I'm gonna keep documenting. I'm gonna keep talking about it. That's it. So this makes a lot more sense than direct energy weapons, than V2K. So if you're a target, stay very, very aware that there are going to be, they have certain methods to do things. So I know that that there's a method in order to have, like right now, like at random points, like I'm hearing the phrases, like they have been saying the phrases a lot, what the fuck, like a lot. And I literally kind of just hear it echo in my head. And I think that happens especially like right now, because that's exactly what was happening. Like I was at the gym, I was working out, and I put on my earphones, and I literally heard them just saying, hey, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck. So I know that the way that they know that you're already hearing the voices is when you turn around. Like if I would happen to turn around and take my earphones off and look around to see who's talking. But I already figured it out, so I am completely ignoring everything that these people are doing or saying. I'm not looking at them. Especially when they say like a particular phrase or like anything. Like when you turn around and look at some of them in the face, they know that they've hit a nerve. They've struck a chord. But if you completely ignore everything that they do or say, like if they didn't exist, then they have no idea what's going in your head if you don't express anything out loud. Which I think it's interesting. So this morning when I walked in the gym, like there was like nothing. Like it was the gang stalking was really subtle. But then as the day kept going by, I just kept ignoring it more and more, and then it began getting like more intense. By the end, it got really, really intense. But I don't know. I think they wanted to like surprise me or something. So a thing that happens was that like there's a point in your gang stalking where things that happen, you start thinking that it was done to fuck you up. So like today when I got to the gym, I typically go to like the dynamic training room where there's like lifting platforms and barbells, a lot of free weights, TRXs, a lot of workout equipment. And it was closed. So if I would have been in the gang stalking juice, I would have literally I would have attributed the room being closed to gang stalkers closing it to F me up. So they're expecting me to think that. And I know this because, well, I have been gang stalked before. And in certain situations, that's how I felt. And they saw it. Because I remember that I used to like panic about it. And they were looking for that. So like I got to the gym, and then I got ready, and then I was going to go into the dynamic training room, and then I was like, oh, it's closed, and then I like walked, turned around and went to do something else, they were looking for me to they were looking for me to express that I believe that they closed it to off me up. That's what they're looking for. So that's how they know that they have, that's how you know that they have turned your mindset around, your perception. So that's pretty much what gang stalking is that it literally turns your perception of common misfortunes into something being done to you by them indirectly. So like, for example, when I was at work, I used to have a tough time finding a part.